Good evening. It was April the 14th this year, and the Prime Minister went to Lydd Airport down in Kent to give the big speech on how this government was going to solve the migrant crisis. Now, normally, you would have expected the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, to do this, but no. As this was the big one, the Prime Minister took charge. Let's just remind ourselves of the very specific pledges and promises Boris Johnson made on that day.
That those who try to jump the queue or abuse our system will find no automatic path to settlement in our country, but rather be swiftly and humanely removed to a safe third country or their country of origin. And to identify, intercept and investigate these boats, from today, the Royal Navy will take over operational command from Border Force in the Channel, taking primacy for our operational response at sea, in line with many of our international partners, with the aim that no boat makes it to the UK undetected. People who do make it to the UK will be taken not to hotels at vast public expense, rather they will be housed in accommodation centres like those in Greece, with the first of these to open shortly. So from today, our new migration and economic development partnership will mean that anyone entering the UK illegally, as well as those who have arrived illegally since January the 1st, may now be relocated to Rwanda.
Well, that was just 4 short months ago, and since the Prime Minister gave that speech, another 15,000 people have crossed the English Channel, and by the pace of the last week or two, it looks as though the numbers by the end of this year, already running at double what they were at this stage last year, could be 3 or 4 times higher. There is no way of accurately predicting. And let's think about all of those promises and pledges. Number one, no more migrants will be sent to hotels, said the Prime Minister very clearly, because there was great anger as people see hotels filling up all over the country at a cost of £5 million every single day. No, the answer was going to be Linton-on-Ouse, the former RAF base up in North Yorkshire. That was the first of many. What has happened there? Well, understandably, voluble, angry local protests, and Linton-on-Ouse and the idea of using camps has been dropped completely. After all, the Napier barracks near Folkestone were tried, but in the end the migrants were so unhappy with the conditions they actually set fire to the barracks. It was good enough for British national servicemen, but not good enough for those that crossed the English Channel in small inflatable ribs. And then, of course, the other great promise was Rwanda. Tens of thousands of people, if necessary, would be shipped off to Rwanda. Do you know how many have gone? Yes, that's right, 0. And we're told that once again there'll be more legal applications made in September and that bookings have been made for October. I promise you, viewers and listeners, not a single person, not one single person, in my opinion, will go to Rwanda. All the while, the ECHR is signed into UK law via Tony Blair's Human Rights Act. But the big one, the one that would sort everything out, was the Ministry of Defence were taking control of the English Channel and the Royal Navy were coming in. Wow, everybody thought. And an extra 50 million quid was given to them to do the job. I remember on day one, Tom Pursglove, who was then the Minister for Illegal Immigration, sitting in this studio. I said, Tom, those naval boats are useless. The sides, the gunnels of the boats are too high to safely lift anybody out of a small rib onto the deck. He looked at me, utterly bemused, all of which showed me the disconnect that exists between government, Whitehall, and the reality of what's happening out there on the ground. Every single promise made by Patel and Johnson has failed. And don't underestimate the potential political impact on this on an electorate that voted Brexit, an electorate that gave Boris Johnson a big majority. If this continues, they're in very, very big trouble on this alone, let alone the cost of living and much else. So my audience question for you today is, do you believe that Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak will solve this?